AI is making us all dumber. Even that is not new. We have this idea. We're just so flattered with ourselves in modernity. We say, wow, we're so much smarter than everyone that came before us. We can do so much more. We're so special. We're so special. Not only is technological improvement not new or special or novel, the observation that technological improvement will make us dumber is also an ancient observation that we seem to have forgotten. I am reminded of Plato's work, the Phaedrus, in which Socrates is relating a story of King Thamus talking to the Egyptian god Thoth, or Thuth. It's Thuth in the text, but Thoth, this god of the arts. And here's what he says. Brief little passage. When the Egyptian god gives to man writing, letters, the ability to write down their ideas, he says, this discovery of yours will create forgetfulness in the learner's souls, because they will not use their memories. They will trust to the external written characters and not remember of themselves. The specific which you have discovered is an aid not to memory, but to reminiscence. It's not going to help their memory. It's going to hurt their memory, but it will allow them to better reminisce. Maybe it'll be good for nostalgia, but it won't be good for their actual memory. He goes on. You give your disciples not truth, but only the semblance of truth. They will be hearers of many things and will have learned nothing. They will appear to be omniscient and will generally know nothing. They will be tiresome company, having the show of wisdom without the reality. Oh man. True millennia ago and just as true today. How many people, I remember learning this in school. They said, Michael, you kids, you're smarter than Aristotle and Plato. You're smarter than Socrates. You know so much more. You have the entire wealth of human knowledge available at your fingertips because of our cell phones or laptops. That's sort of true. That's dubious too. But let's say it's true for the sake of argument. Yeah, I have that all available at my fingertips, and I don't do anything with it. And I actually don't even know how to do anything with it. I don't even know how to start asking questions. I've noticed this, not to sound like an old man yelling at the sky. I've noticed this even in my professional life. People don't know how to write anymore. Editors don't know how to write. People whose job it is to write don't know how to write. When I say they don't know how to write, I'm not saying they're not Hemingway. I'm saying they don't know the basics of the English language. And how could they? That decline in skill has been present for 20 years. How could they now? They never have to write anything. They have ChatGPT. It gives the show of wisdom. This is something that's so annoying. I hate this on X now. Whenever anyone makes a claim on X, people will just respond and say, Grok, is this true? As if Grok were smart. As if Grok were really intelligent. These people are so gullible. They don't even understand that artificial intelligence is not intelligence. It's not that it's not impressive. It's not that it's not going to go. It's literally not intelligence. That's not what intelligence is. And they don't know what intelligence is. They don't understand how to think about things. They don't know how to get down to the first principles that undergird certain debates. They don't realize that there's such a thing as eternal questions that exist in part to make you think and to exercise the very thing that differentiates you from some brute beast. Hey, Grok, is that true? Hey, Grok, is what Michael just said true? Apparently not. If your reflex is just to ask Grok for everything, maybe there isn't much difference between you and a brute beast. Some of us, I hope there is a difference. It's not even that impressive. This is the other crazy story that very few people are talking about in AI. AI isn't even that impressive. It was very impressive when it first came out. Consider it now, though. Has anyone used ChatGPT 5? ChatGPT 5 just came out, and it's very underwhelming. I'm broadly impressed by ChatGPT. I will sometimes use it for the starting point for research. I don't use it for writing, but I'll use it as a starting point for research. That, Grok, all the rest of them are fine. Sometimes they make stuff up. You got to triple check everything, but sometimes it pulls really interesting stuff. ChatGPT 2 to 3. It took 7 months. ChatGPT 3 was 10 times larger than ChatGPT 2. That's impressive. ChatGPT 3 to 4, that took 3 years. That didn't take 7 months. That took 3 years. And that was a big advance too. ChatGPT 4 to 5, that took 2.5 years, almost the same amount of time. Very little improvement. In some areas, it actually regressed. In some areas, ChatGPT 5 is worse than GPT-4. It's underwhelming. The New Yorker has a piece out on this, referring to Apple, another big tech company that obviously one of the biggest companies in the world. Their researchers released a paper titled The Illusion of Thinking, which found that the state-of-the-art large reasoning models showed performance collapsing to zero when the complexity of puzzles was extended beyond a modest threshold. That the large reasoning models, the most impressive models that we have in artificial intelligence, that their performance drops to zero when you just throw a few little obstacles in the works. 35% of the US stock market right now is tied up in the Magnificent Seven tech companies, which are investing heavily in AI. Those tech companies, according to Ed Zitron, who's a tech writer, those tech companies have spent $560 billion on AI in the last 18 months, over $500 billion on AI in the last 18 months. Revenues are $35 billion, and ChatGPT-5 is not really much better than ChatGPT-4, and maybe we've hit a limit. What all the AI people say is we're going to get to artificial general intelligence. We're going to get to AGI. It's going to be impossible to distinguish between a computer and a human. We're getting there. It's any day now. And I'm a little skeptical of that because most people don't even understand what intelligence is. Most people don't even understand what thinking is. These things, whatever you want to say about them, they're not intelligent for a basic reason that intellect is immaterial. The brain is material. I'm just talking about you, not the computer. Your brain is material. Your spinal cord is material. Your intellect is not material for a really basic reason. We can know this for a fact because the mind, the intellect, deals in universals. Universals are immaterial. The mind would not be able to comprehend immaterial things if the mind itself were material. Like my eye, I talked about this on the show about a month or two ago. This is really pertinent to the AI debate and AI development. Your eye is physical. It's material. What does the eye perceive? What does the eye deal in? One thing, colors. That's what and colors are material. Your mind deals in justice, beauty, delight, morality, good and bad. It deals in universals. It deals in ideas. It deals in things that are not material. So your intellect is immaterial. And the robots and the AI they're just stuff. They're just material. What this means, to bring this all back down to earth, there is a limit, and we might have hit the limit on how far AI is going to get. And we're probably going to suffer economic consequences for that. I don't want to call a stock market collapse or something like that. You cannot have a situation where 35% of the US stock market is tied up in these tech companies that are dumping all their money into AI and have AI hit its limit and not have that affect the market. And I think the reason all of that is happening is we just fundamentally misunderstand what AI is, what intelligence is, what thinking is, and even how technology works. And it comes from this liberal impulse that says that there are no limits on anything. That we're on the brink of flying cars. Oh, we're just on the brink of living forever. Oh, we're on the brink of having perfect knowledge of everything at the same time. They always tell us this. They told us this when the internet came out. Oh, we're on the brink of limitless knowledge. 5 seconds later, you know what happened? Most of the internet became porn. We said, we're on the brink of limitless knowledge. What if we just turn it all into porn? Did that make us wiser or less wise? I think less wise. How about cars? Like the flying cars. Cars are almost exactly the same as they were 100 years ago, over 100 years ago. Automatic transmission. To me, automatic transmission was the last big, serious development in cars that really, really matters. That was, I think 1921 was when the automatic transmission was invented. There are 104 years. It's been the same. We have cell phones. We invented the telephone a long time ago. Now we have cell phones. We're going to have limitless communication, limitless productivity, limitless knowledge. You know what cell phones are mostly? The parts that are not porn? Just brain rot. Just stupid, dumb brain rot that you spend 80% of your time on your phone just looking at dumb nonsense. It ain't it, man. There's limits. And I love that. As a conservative, as a Christian, someone who recognizes this is a fallen world, utopia is not right around the corner. I'm not a radical. I'm not a revolutionary. Those exist on the left mostly, but a little bit on the right, and they're all a bunch of dummies. Sorry. Pardon the near detraction, but it's so dumb. These people, they don't think right. They don't even know what thinking is. There are limits in a fallen world. I like that. I think that's good. I think in a fallen world, if there weren't limits, we would have hell on earth forever. So I don't want that. 3 cheers for limits. Here's to reality. Here's to a restoration of reality. I liked that clip. And I think you did too. And I think you should subscribe to me. And then we'll do this more often. How's that sound?